Good morning everyone. In this video we are going to see about the radial nerve and course, relations and its clinical importance. So the radial nerve is a continuation of posterior cord of the brachial plexus in the axilla. Okay, it is the largest nerve of the brachial plexus. It supplies to the posterior extensor compartment of the upper limb. Okay, it carries the fibers from all roots of C5, C6, C7, C8 and T1 of the brachial plexus, but T1 fibers are not constant always. Okay. Course in the arm. The radial nerve lies posterior to the third part of the axillary artery and anterior to the muscle forming the posterior wall of axilla. That's going to be the subscapularis, latissimus dorsi and teres major muscles. Here it gives us the following three branches. Posterior cutaneous nerve of the arm, nerve to the long head of triceps and nerve to the medial head of triceps. So it can say it supplies to the sensation of the skin of the posterior side of the arm and also to the, it supplies to the extensor of the elbow, that is going to be the triceps muscle. As you can see, it passes through the triangular interval. Okay, medially the triangular interval is bounded by the triceps brachii, long head of the triceps brachii, laterally by the shaft of the humerus, then superiorly by the teres major muscle. The contents inside the triangular interval are the radial nerve and the profunda brachii artery. So this is the some two posterior shoulder spaces. There will be two triangular and one quadrangular space in this. So as you can see the teres major, this is going to be the quadrangular space, and another one is near to just behind the axilla. The one towards the triceps is one of the triangular space, that is a lower triangular space we are going to see. Okay, that is the thing relevant to us. The course in the arm. The radial nerve enters the arm through the lower borders of the teres major. It passes between the long head and the medial head of the triceps, as you all know, as showed in the picture. Then the enters the lower triangular space through it reaches the spiral groove along with the profunda brachii artery. Radial nerve at the level of spiral groove has a direct contact with the humerus bone. At the lower third of the humerus, it pierces the lateral intermuscular septum to enter the anterior part of the arm, where it lies deeply in the interval spaces between the brachialis and the brachioradialis. In between these two muscles it lies. Okay, at the lower third of the humerus, it pierces the lateral intermuscular septum. Until then it enters the anterior part of the arm, which again it lies deeply in the interval between the brachialis and the brachioradialis. Then in between this brachialis and the extensor carpi radialis longus, ECRL, before entering the cubital fossa. So the branches of the radial nerve in the spiral groove are lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, that is going to provide sensory innervation to the lateral surface of the arm up to the elbow. The posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm that also provides the sensory innervation to the medial back of the forearm up to the wrist. Then the lateral head of the triceps and the nerve to the medial head of triceps will be there. Then the nerve nerve to anconeus is also there. It runs to the substance of the medial head of the triceps to reach the anconeus muscle. Okay. At the lower end of the spiral groove, the nerve pierces the lateral intermuscular septum and reaches the anterior compartment of the arm. Okay. So branches of the radial nerve in the anterior compartment of the arm. The deep branch is also called as the posterior interosseous nerve in the cubital fossa, supplies to the two muscles, that is ECRB, that is extensor carpi radialis brevis, and the supinator muscle. After supplying to this through muscle, it passes through the substance of supinator and enters the posterior compartment of forearm and supplies to the extensors of forearm. It also gives the articular branches for distal, radio, ulnar, wrist and the carpal joints. So now it enters enter the forearm. The radial nerve moves anteriorly over the lateral epicondyle. So ulnar nerve moves posteriorly, whereas this moves anteriorly over the lateral epicondyle. Ulnar nerve is at medial epicondyle, radial nerve is at lateral epicondyle. Okay. Through the cubital fossa. It terminates by dividing into two branches. The deep branch is called as motor, that is going to be the motor branch, that is a posterior interosseous nerve. Innervates the muscle of the posterior compartment of forearm. There is a superficial branch that is also known as the sensory branch of the forearm. Also the superficial radial nerve. It contributes the cutaneous innervation of hand and the fingers. So as you can see, the lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, it supplies to this green part. Then the posterior cutaneous nerve of arm supplies to this blue part. Then this is posterior view of the hand. This is the anterior view. This is normal anatomical view. This is, and the posterior cutaneous nerve of forearm supplies to this part, and the superficial supplies to this part. Okay. The superficial branch is also called as a superficial radial nerve. It is a sensory branch, and it is going to run down the supinator, pronator teres, and FTS. This is flexor digitorum. Superficial is deep to the brachioradialis. Okay, about 1/3 of the way down the forearm, at about 7 centimeters above the wrist, it passes posteriorly. It emerges from under the tendon of brachioradialis proximal to the styloid process of the radius. Then it passes over the tendons of the anatomical snuff box, which terminates and then terminates at the final cutaneous branches. Okay. So in this next one, we are going to see about the motor functions of the radial nerve. The radial nerve innervates the muscles located in the posterior upper arm and the posterior forearm. Upper arm, it innervates the three heads of the triceps brachii and extends to the arm at the elbow. The brachioradialis is supplied. The extensor carpi radialis longus ECRL, the muscles of the posterior forearm. The terminal branches of the radial nerve, the deep branches innervate the remaining muscles of the posterior forearm. Note, we should importantly note that when the deep branch of the radial nerve penetrates the supinator muscle of the forearm, it is termed as the posterior interosseous nerve for its remaining course. Okay. The superficial branch of radial nerve in the hand, it supplies to the skin, lateral, radial half of the dorsal aspect of the hand and the thumb. It divides into the several dorsal digital nerves which provides sensory innervation to the skin over the lateral part of the dorsum of the hand and the dorsal surface of the lateral 3.5 digits of the proximal nail beds. So now we will see about the sensory functions of the radial nerve. There are 4 branches of the radial nerve that provides the cutaneous innervation of the skin in the entire upper limb. One is the lateral cutaneous, posterior cutaneous and posterior cutaneous nerve of forearm. The lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, it innervates the lateral aspect of the upper arm below the deltoid muscle. The posterior cutaneous nerve of the arm is to the posterior surface of the upper arm. Okay, this is the lateral surface. This is the posterior surface of the upper arm, and the just below the deltoid muscle is going to the lateral cutaneous nerve, and the posterior cutaneous nerve of the forearm innervates the strip of skin between the middle and the posterior forearm. Okay, the 4th branch of the superficial branch is terminal division of the radial nerve. It innervates the dorsal surface of the lateral 3.5 digits, which is associated palmar area, and their associated palmar area. So the clinical relevance of the radial nerve, injuries of the radial nerve are at the 4 sides, in the axilla, in the spiral groove, in the forearm, or at the elbow level. Okay. The axilla, in the axilla involves the posterior cord to the high axillary region. It is mainly due to the crutch palsy or the shoulder dislocation might happen. It might be the reason for this axillary cord injury. Position, hand hangs in flexion. The wrist drop might occur. Wasting of the dorsal arm, triceps muscles on the posterior surface of the forearm. Paresthesia and stasis. Paresthesia, the sensory loss of the entire extensor surface of the arm on the back of the hands and the dorsum of the first 4 fingers. So this is the drunkard's hand, as you know. These are the causes which might lead to the axillary lesion. Okay. So at the spiral groove, the level causes can be humeral fractures, compressive lesions, Saturday night palsy, entrapment by tendinous arches of the lateral head of the triceps muscle, damage after arm exercise, shoulders developing palsies at the lateral borders of human after military shooting training, sensible on the extensor aspect of is spared, that means it escaped. Sensibility on the extensor aspect of forearm may or may not be spared, that is going to be rare. Wrist drop will be positive with no loss of elbow extension. So we should also know about the radial tunnel syndrome. The lacerations or gunshot injuries at the level of radial tunnel can also cause an injury to the radial nerve. Okay. The chronic repeated trauma related to stressful pronation and supination in swimmers, Frisbee players and tennis players and violinists can also call as the radial tunnel syndrome and also cause. So there will be the radial tunnel will be involvement of the posterior interosseous nerve. Etiologies, a constructing band of the radiohumeral capsule can also cause this. So on the next one we will see what is about the radial tunnel, what is there, and we will see there. So radial nerve passes down to the back of the upper arm. It spirals down and crosses the outside of the lateral aspect of the elbow before it winds its way down the forearm and the hand. Okay. So radial nerve passes down the back of the upper arm. But then it spirals down across the lateral aspect of the elbow. Okay. Then it winds and down the forearm and the hand until here we know. On the lateral part of the elbow, the radial nerve enters the tunnel formed by the muscle and bone. It is called as radial tunnel. Okay, passing through the radial tunnel, the nerve runs below the supinator muscle. The supinator muscle lets you to twist the hand clockwise in a motion that is a screwdriver to tighten a screw. Okay. The radial tunnel syndrome. It is an entrapment neuropathy of the deep branch of the radial nerve at the level of elbow joint. So what we say on the radial tunnel, this entrapment syndrome occurs at the level of radial tunnel. The compression of radial nerve at the elbow may be caused by the following factors. That is, thick fibrous band which can attach the radial nerve to the radiohumeral joint, sharp tendinous margins of the extensor carpi radialis brevis muscle, a leach of vessels from the radial recurrent artery, the arcade of force, the fibroaponeurotic proximal edge of the superficial part of the supinator muscle. The gastric feature as such as follows: loss of extension of the wrist and the fingers with no wrist drop, and the pain over the extensor aspect of the forearm. So the patient will present you like this: the atrophy at the paralysis of the extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minima, extensor pollicis longus, abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and the extensor indicis muscle. Okay, the extensor carpi radialis will be intact in this. Then the drop finger deformity, difficulty in extension at the level of metacarpophalangeal joint at all the 5 fingers will be visible. Partial wrist drop can be found in this lesion. No sensory loss will be present, but the wrist deviates radially, which can be which is the radial drift. You can say it as a radial drift when the patient try to make a fist. When you ask the patient to make a fist with his hand. So this is the cutaneous innervation. How the radial nerve supplies this is the green part is going to the medial nerve, this is the red part is going to the radial nerve, and then this is going to the ulnar nerve. Okay. Okay, we also know about this condition called chiralgia paresthetica. It is a superficial cutaneous branch of the radial nerve. The pure sensory syndrome that affects the radial part of the dorsum of the hand up to the first 3.5 fingers. Etiology: crushing and twisting injuries of forearm, handcuff, wrist watch neuropathy. Repetitive pronation and supination can also cause this kind of chiralgia paresthetica. So lesions of the radial nerve, as you all know, I'll just combine it all the 3. Okay, lesions at the level of axilla, the crutch palsy, dislocation of shoulder joint at the fracture of the proximal femoris, motor deficit will be triceps brachioradialis, and extensor weakness of the wrist and will lead to wrist drop. So whatever the lesion may be, there will be a wrist drop. Okay, we can also remember that whatever the level of lesion might be. Okay, the sensory loss, the lateral dorsum hand and the dorsum of the thumb and dorsum of the fingers 2 and 3. Lesion at the level of spiral groove of the humerus. Mid shaft of humerus is strongly placed intramuscular injection or standard night paralysis. Triceps is escaping at this level. Okay, because just above only triceps is supplied. The brachioradialis weakness and the extensor weakness will be present. As soon as you all know, wrist drop will be prominent. The sensory loss involves lateral dorsum of the hand of the wrist and the wrist, dorsum of the thumb and the proximal dorsum fingers of second and third. Okay, second and third fingers. Lesion at the level of radial tunnel. Again, the tricep is escaped here. And the humeroradial joint. Extensor weakness will be very prominent or sometimes will be very mild. Okay. Sensory loss at the lateral dorsum of hand and wrist, as you all all the sensory laws will be involving lateral dorsum of hand and wrist, and the dorsum of thumb, and the dorsum of the fingers 2 and 3. So lesion at the spiral groove at the humerus or the lesion at the radial tunnel will have a similar symptoms. All sensory laws will more or be like easy or similar to each of it. Thank you. Please like, subscribe and share for more updates. Thank you from Physio Startup. Thank you.